This is Anna, also known as the Fat Carry, because she is the only support hero that you can consistently carry games with in solo queue. She's a very mechanically intensive hero because you need quite a lot of good aim, but also you need to manage her incredible kit. But first let's talk about positioning. I like to stick to 3 rules when I'm playing Anna and trying to position. Play back, play in cover, play high. I'm trying to recreate here the game I hit Diamond as Anna, and it was an icon mold, and the payload was around this sort of corner section. Now where I'm currently standing is bad because it's too close to the team, meaning that it's harder to hit my projectile like unscoped shots. Where I'm standing here is also pretty bad. I mean, I've got cover this time, but it's still pretty close. I can see more of the team, but it's kind of hard to rotate out of. Where I'm going to here, I guess I've got protection from the side, but I can't see half their team. It's hard to get out of. This is a general bad position. And so what I finally decided on was just moving back here, right? You'll see why in a sec. Now, I am further away from my team, so I can't make aggressive plays with my anti-grenades as much. But if you get the arc down, you can get here, shoot, see pretty much all of your team and a lot of the enemy team. You have cover to your right, but most importantly, it's back, so you're safe. It's got some cover here on the right, and also you're on high ground, so it's safe. And then finally, of course, you're on high ground. The important thing about high ground is just keeping it, and also places like these, you want to make sure you've got good access to any flankers so you can sleep them. Play back, play in cover, and play high, because it makes you harder to hit and you can see more of your team. Now for her abilities. Fun fact, you can make the reload slightly shorter before she cocks the gun. If you use an ability, you basically reload faster. But now for some more helpful tips. She has 3 ways of firing. What you're seeing now is just me zoomed in. This is unscoped. The bullet is slightly harder to hit because it has travel time, but you can see more around you basically. You also want to know how to quickscope, which is kind of hard to do on console, but you basically zoom in and get the effect of the hit scan of the bullet landing instantly, but you can pretty much for the whole time see everything around you. I'm going to talk about the grenade now, which is like the most carry heavy ability other than maybe Nano. So basically what you do is, if you learn the arc, it's very useful as a basically playmaking aggressive ability. If you learn the arc of it, you hit multiple enemies, it deals 60 damage and it means that they can't receive healing. It's the biggest counter to Zenyatta's ult Transcendence. Now you do have different uses for it. You can use it to heal. This is more of a defensive play and probably happens if you're backing up. So generally I'd say try and go for those aggressive antis more, because they just are so insane. And then finally she's got the sleep dart, which is the rest of her regular abilities, and it should tend to be used more defensively if you're getting like attacked by a flanker, but you can also use it just against ulting people like Hog, for example. But yeah, it's very useful, and another tip is to not generally wake them up until you've got your team around you, so they're easy to kill. Anna's ultimate is Nano Boost. It gives a teammate extra protection and more damage for a few seconds. But one thing you probably didn't know is that you can actually use it to save people's lives if it will win you the fight. You guys probably know the common nano targets such as Zarya, Reinhardt and Genji. Now that we've learnt about her kit and how to position, let's take a look at an actual game. Today we're looking at Bullmain, who is a 1600 Anna player, but after looking at this they should probably be a lot higher. So we're on Temple of Anubis, so on attack we just want to stay fairly close to our team as we move up, and then once we take point A, just sort of do the same thing again, but maybe go a little further back because point B is very much defender sided and you kind of don't want to be in the action too much. So there is no snipers on the other team, so we can be a bit more we can be less cautious with our positioning. We've started off with one of the anti-nade spots, which is really quite impressive. So yeah, we're just moving on with our team. We've got an opening pick. Don't need to worry about the Ryan. We've still got our sleep, so they can, they won't really be able to kill us. Kill the Doom, who's massively over position. Good sleep here. Because we've got like 2 or 3 picks, I think it is now, we basically can't lose this point. It's basically taken, so we might as well stay high ground here, because so we can just stay here. We're uncontested. I mean, we've dropped here now, so this is like a very small error, But honestly, staying up there is just fine. You know, take the high ground, and that's pretty much it. That's obviously a small thing because they weren't going to recontest the point, but now we're moving up. We need to be a bit more careful because there's no tanks hit yet. So now that the Winston Zarya have moved up, we can start playing a bit more like aggressively, but once again staying behind the shield. Here where we are right now is kind of fine actually because we've got lots of cover and we're pretty far away too. But yeah, we want to just make sure we're behind our tanks generally as any support really. It's kind of weird what we're seeing here. We're getting picks from either side, but generally if you just have one death on your team on Anubis attack, that will probably be enough to end the whole push because of the defender advantage. But here I think the first death and only death in the game is coming up, which was that hook there. And to be honest, it was probably quite preventable, so I'd say this is like one of the few mistakes in the game that I've seen so far. So if we just take a look at how exactly we died from a Roadhog hook, which it was a pretty good hook to be fair, but if we're just going over to, we can kind of see that the tanks were to the side a bit. Basically we were in an open spot, and although the fight was lost, we could have just backed up a bit. So we died around here. We got hooked around here, and yeah, the Roadhog just comboed us, we died instantly. So we were playing around here where the Doomfist is now, but a better place could just simply be here. You can just peek in and out of cover and fire as many shots as you want, and or just here. We're further back and we're underneath the steps, so we're harder to hit. So here we see, I think the first nano of the game, might be the second, but I think we go for the Genji, end up hitting the Zarya. That's fine. I mean, you saw the Genji dash up and you responded, so that's fine. Pretty standard combo. You also want to make sure that you get your nano first as opposed to the enemy Ana, just so you can combo and win the team fight quicker. And it looks like we're gonna cap the point after a lot of stalling. We can just move off point now. Like, nice sleep. I would say that the only real problem with your game so far is some of your sleeps have been kind of almost too reactive, and you're just sort of tossing them without any like follow-up or thought into what value you're going to get from it. I definitely say hold on to the nice anti. I definitely say hold on to the sleep because it might save your life. But yeah, I'd say you've probably thrown the sleep a bit too much and you're maybe a bit too far forward. But those are the only two like noticeable mistakes, at least. So if you're 1600, then you're definitely going to climb pretty soon. But yeah, I think we're going to cap here. Now you're defending point A, and I'm very happy because I can see that you're heading up to the spot to play Ana from. And yeah, this is a really good spot for a number of reasons. First of all, you're back, you can see all of your team, you're in cover from this left wall which protects you from snipers, and you're in high ground. So what I see you doing here is it's actually quite good because where you've just moved back to is actually just as good because they don't have a sniper. So you want to stick where you are hugging the wall if they had a sniper, but because they don't, you can just play here and it's fine. Another surprisingly helpful tip I have for Ana is just do more. You have 12 shots, and I think if you put around 9 or 10 of them towards like healing, and then maybe 2 or 3 to damage, the damage ones can force the DPS to back up, and well, the healing ones will just heal your team. But if you do this in a sort of rhythmic way, you'll get used to it and you'll know what I mean in game. But just at every opportunity that you have to heal someone or deal a bit of damage, you'll just start to do it quicker and quicker and just have more actions more like frequently, and this will honestly help you climb. But if you can basically see here, you've pretty much won the whole game by not having to move at all because no one's contested you, which will happen more and more in high ranks. But yeah, you're in a safe position. You can always call for your team to like help you out, but yeah, you've pretty much just hung around this high ground area for the whole game, and it's just been an easy game. Now, of course, there are unwinnable games here and there, but honestly, just simple positioning stuff like this, playing back, playing cover, and playing high, will just win you lots of games. And now I just want to quickly go back to where, just to explain that position a bit more. So where you are currently standing is great if they have a sniper, because you can't be shot through the wall, and you can see a lot of what's happening on that like first area where the initial fight takes place. I'll explain why you rotated in a second, but yeah, where I'm flying to there was just where the sniper would contest you, so you're in cover and you can see a lot of your team. You just follow these steps, by the way, to get up to this place, for anyone that didn't know. But then what you ended up doing was just backing up to see even more of your team from an even safer area if they didn't have a sniper. Thanks everyone for watching my Ana guide. Just two things I want to say is I've only peaked at diamond, so I can't help players above that, I'm really sorry. But one thing I can recommend to everyone is ML7's Unranked GM Ana guide, because, well, he's an actual like pro player pretty much, and yeah, you'll just find even more tips than I had in this video.